Hey, this is Steven with Armed Culture, coming to you with news related to self defense and the violent world around us, reminding you to stay prepared and vigilant at all times, because in this crazy world, something can happen at any moment. On Monday, around 4 p.m., an Uber driver was killed in what seems to be a road rage situation. This one is a little bit she said, they said, he's dead, unfortunately. It looks like this one's interesting. So, a man pulled up behind a car and got out of his car. The man was the Uber driver, and walked up to the other car and started banging on the window. Now that's the opening. Let's flash back though. It seems that about 20 minutes before the altercation, that same Uber driver called 911 about an erratic driver. Seems like it's a road rage scenario. Who started the erratic driving? We don't know. It is an Uber driver in Vegas, but this is also a WRX driver, in Vegas. That all being said, who knows who started the road rage? The man got out of his car when they both came to a stop and started banging on the driver's side window. Experts from the area, said that Vegas is a stand your ground state, and if she believes that she was in fear for her life of immediate danger, of course she has the ability to act upon it. Where I come into question is he was banging on the window, hadn't quite broke it yet, but it is, we do have a man standing outside the car and a woman inside the car in a road rage scenario. People's tensions are already high. Why did the guy get out of the car? Who started the road rage incident is my question for this. It's interesting because he had already called her in, but then decided to confront her. If he had already called, he should have just probably went up on around his day and not banged on the window. Police are also not taking the woman into custody and have not seized any of her belongings at the moment, but she did, after being tracked down, turn herself in, and the DA is currently looking at it into self-defense. They estimate that it should take about a week or two to get back to it, so we'll be keeping our eye on this one. The interesting part about it is the man had already called it in, but then took it upon himself to try to confront her instead of just driving it off. The crazier part about it is he had 2 passengers in his car. So it goes into question, why didn't he just finish his job rather than getting out of his car and banging on this woman's window? Now the next question is, why didn't the woman just leave? Well, it is a stand your ground state in Nevada. They actually do not have the requirement to try to skid off, though Las Vegas police did say that it would behoove her to have tried that, if possible, but she isn't necessarily required to do that. Tell me your thoughts on this. Do you think maybe she shot too soon, or do you think maybe he was in the wrong for getting out of his car? There's one other fact in this matter is after she shot him, it seems like he got struck in the neck. He pulled out his weapon, or at least presented a weapon. So it's unclear of whether or not was the weapon shown before. Did she already feel threatened? I mean, she probably felt threatened by a man banging on her window, but that's not necessarily, at least in my thought process, enough to probably shoot. But I don't know, maybe she felt the window was going to break. Nevada being a stand your ground state, she wasn't required to get out of the vehicle and leave the property or try to leave the premise. She was all within her right to stay there and try to defend herself. Maybe going straight to shooting wasn't the smartest idea, But let me know your thoughts on that. Was she well within her rights to stand her ground, or not necessarily stand her ground, but take strike action back at being harassed in such a manner, or maybe threatened in such a manner? Or was he in his right to get out of his car and try to bang on her property, her window, and, possibly, in her eyes, threaten her? It's hard to tell, and we'll be following this one for a little while. I'm sure we'll have more information on it soon. They got security camera footage from the local casino, and that will be taken into account as well. But what are your thoughts on? Comment down below. Smash that like button. Subscribe. This is Armed Culture, bringing you news related to self-defense and the violent world happening around you, reminding you to keep your head on a swivel and always pay attention to your surroundings and be prepared for anything.